Hello, hi everybody. Brian here from quantlabs.net. Today is March 12th. I want to show you the intraday trading, paper trading positions here. I'm very close to releasing my trading script client. Last test is to trade with live money, so we're getting a lot closer. So in today's video, what I want to go over is the total ROI of the trading that goes on. Starts obviously at midnight my time, Eastern Standard, and this is the total ROI. Here's the question. You can quite see within a very short period of time, within 15 minutes, it gets up to about 5%. Goes down, and then it hovers in and around 1, 2, 3, 4%, and then all of a sudden it dips. So you're thinking to yourself at 341, is this going to be now going into a negative day like it is so far, or do you hang on and trade because you've already made 3% for the day in less than half an hour, let's say? But lo and behold, as the market goes down, it starts to come back. Not only does it come back, and this right here is the weighted average of those 13 coins I've mentioned before in another video, and those are hourly moves as well. So you can see here it goes negative, goes slightly positive, goes back to negative, and along here it go really seriously negative, like I've shown you and will show you in the last 2 days. So then it starts to pick up, comes down, okay, and then and again you're watching the weighted average, which can help as well, and then it starts to kind of get higher, 3.3, 4.9, then gets up to 6.1, and lo and behold, you're already at 11%, and it's only 4 o'clock in the morning. So long goes the time. And again, this is 3 o'clock, same day. So we're not only 12 hours, but we're another 3 hours, 15 hours into this. So you can see here, we're now hitting 12, 12. And the question is, you're always, again, it's all about probabilities, because there's really no rhyme and reason which way it'll go. It's like any market outside exogenous news that can affect it, but this really doesn't get affected. It seems to be more random than anything, and very rarely impacted by anything, unless it's like Bitcoin or something, like a news event on Bitcoin. But you can see here, it just keeps going up, 11, 12, drops back, and you go, okay, it's dropping back. Do I take my profit now or hang on? And then it goes 12, 12, 12. Now it goes up to 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, and then it drops back. So it goes from 16 to 15, and then 15, and then all of a sudden it goes up to 16, 17, 18, 19%, and then boom, boom, 19.3, 19.6. So the question is, along just today, at what point could you and would have cut it off? Because if you did, you wouldn't be getting this, okay? You wouldn't be getting 19%. But then if I go to yesterday's file, here it is again. So we start out negative. We reach that 1%, but it continues to go negative, and that goes really negative. Now again, it could have gone negative, but you can see here it's only 1:53 a.m., so it's only 2 hours into trading. So here it goes negative, and it starts to come back, starts to hit over 1.8, and then it hits 2.4. But again, it's now March 1st, 2.4%, dips down, and then you get scared again. And here you're at 522, 3% it's already at. 3%, 3%, and then at 555, it hits 4.1%, and it goes back down. So should you take a profit at 555, and it's the weighted average among the 13 is 1.56. And here's the funny thing: even though this goes up, the weighted average, now goes your trading performance starts to drop from 4.1 all the way down to 0.9, 0.95, 0.95, 0.91, and then it starts to peak up, and it goes up to 2.8. So, and then it still continues to go up at 4.9, 5.2, 6.4, 6.48, and then 6.5. Okay, and we're only at 8:08 a.m. Okay, but it's not very strong here with the weighted average of negative 0.77%. Then it goes down, and 6%, and it goes up to 7%, because guess what? The weighted average, so we're at 8:17, so within 14, 15 minutes at 8:40 a.m., 8:43, 8:47, It goes from 6.5, and it peaks here at 7.2, 7.3, 7.01, and it bounces around. But you can see here that the weighted average is getting stronger. So then it all of a sudden goes up to 8.3, 8.3, 8.34, and then 9. 9% it hits. 902. So we're at 1.2. You can clearly see that it is weakening in the market where it's going from 3.5 weighted average down to 1.2. So you take profit there and just get out, or do you hold off where it's only 9:45 p.m. a.m. So does that mean it continues to go up? You're at 9.02, and then look what happens. You peak at 9.55%, 11.53, and then it starts to it starts to drop down to 8.59. But look what happens, and now we're at 12:03. So we're 12 hours into trading, and now it starts to really move up. 11.06, 10.48, 9.9, 9.67. And then it starts to dip again. But again, during that time when it's peaking over 10%, the weighted average is only 1.12, 1.2, and then it drops back again, and now we're at 12:13 a.m. So the question is, where do you think the peak stops? So now we're at 9.6, and I believe that's, 10.14, 11.06 was the peak. Okay, now it starts to drop down to 7, 6, 5, 4, and then 3. But you can see here that weighted average is still at 123. Time is now 15:37, and it starts to drop. Continues to drop. Oh, is it going to come back? Now it's from 3.64 at 16:04 p.m., and then it drops up, or moves up, 4.074, and then drops back, and then all of a sudden it goes negative at 16:46. Now, not just does it only go negative, but it goes negative all through the day from 17 o'clock. Here it's negative 2.29. This I'm talking about the ROI. 2.29 at 2011, and it stays negative for the remainder of the night. So again, at what point, and it ended up at negative 1.5, even though you were up positive 12%. So at what point do you make that call and say, I want out, take my profit, and leave it at that? So you can see here the challenge is you got to set a daily target of something at what you think the average will be, using some of these other factors of time of the day, the overall weighted moving average, and you got to do what you can. So I'll show you one last example. March 10th. So it started at negative, let's say 1.7. Weighted average starts to move up to 2.0, which is fairly strong. So we're now at negative 1.77 at 12:15 a.m. And then it peaks at around 4.15, 4.65, and it goes back down. It goes as low at 12:34 a.m. So only half an hour. It's at negative at 0.7, and it comes back to 3.08, and then the weighted average is only peaking at 1.05. So we're at 12:47 a.m. And that's 307. Then it drops back, fluctuates. Then it drops down to 103 ROI, and then at 124, it goes okay. It drops. Well, it's almost 0.97. So the weighted average now is at 0.49, but it comes back 2.05, and we're only at 2:15 a.m. Then it goes negative again, and then it bounces around at 0.21% at 5:18. Even though at certain points through there, the weighted average is at 2.6. So then all of a sudden the ROI starts to really drop at 7:43 in the morning. Okay, down to 2.17 at 8:30, and it gets really low. So you could have made 4% earlier in the night. But guess what? Just by chance, probably says, oh, come back. 3.2, 2.6 is the peak, and that's at 9:01 a.m. Then it continues to move up to 6.1 at 10 a.m. But even though the average, weighted average was at 2.95, and then it suddenly goes negative, and then it bounces back. So when the ROI hits 6.1%, the weighted average is only 0.24% at 10 a.m. And then it stays there at 6, drops back a little bit, peaks up, And you go, at what point does it move up again? And guess what? It does drop all the way down to, so at 6 a.m., or sorry, at 6%, let's say 6.1, it's only 10 a.m. So after that point, it starts to drop. And then you can see here, it goes negative again in around 1801. So should you have taken that 6%? But even though I've shown you other examples where it goes 10, 15, and all the way up to 19%, do you take your profit? And it continues. So we end up negative 2.7. So you can see here the challenge. What are the factors you use to take the profit when the ROI hits a certain, what you think is maximum, combined with the weighted average, hourly, and the time of day? Let me know what you think and what you do. Talk to you later. Thanks a lot. Have a good day.